Why are you so blurry? What's going on?
I don't know, this window.
What?
I could go over here.
What in the world is going on here with our window?
I don't know.
Wait, move back. Holy cow. There's something wrong with our window. We need a new window. Go back.
I know this one. The bottom one's fine.
Wow, and she's clear again. Okay, well, looks like another new project for Love, Coco, and Champ.
That's right.
Well, hello there. It looks like we've got another mystery project going on. What in the world could this be? So we came home to this on our doorstep the other day. Coco couldn't figure it out. She knew she hadn't ordered anything. And then we remembered. We've had one bad window in our house, in our new house. It's been almost 3 years now. And we've had one window lose its sill. The view has been a little bit foggy. And so we were able to order a new window on warranty. Of course, warranty doesn't cover shipping. Now look at this thing. I mean, how much do you think this cost to ship? But we're going to unpack this real quick just to make sure that nothing's broken. And then we'll show you how we install this window. So just another project from Love, Coco, and Champ. So keep watching. Looks like we've got staples on the top piece. Not sure what holds that in the box because this is the open end. Anyway, we're going to pop okay, yeah, that worked well. It just cracked it right in half. Very curious. Well, it got rid of half of it, didn't it? Just like a drawbridge. Yeah, I'm very curious what keeps this in. Like why this doesn't just slide out during shipping. It must have an attached strap attached to this backboard here. So the trick will be to get these out without putting pressure on the window. So let's see if we can do that. That one was easy because it was already exposed. This one is another story. So we're just gonna see if we can split the wood, maybe. There we go. Remember, the goal is not to break the window. Woo! And it comes right out. Yeah, I've never really thought about it, what it would be like to work in an industry where you have to put so much emphasis on packing. Like, this is crazy. Nice pieces of cardboard. We can use those for painting. Oh. See, oh wow, this will be interesting. I thought this would include the frame, but this is just the window. Dual pane window. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to learn something new on this process because we have never replaced a window like this before. So we're just inspecting it for cracks or any other issues like fogging. As near as I can tell, it looks pretty good. But boy, that is a packing job. Very impressive. So the company is MI Windows and Doors. They are a division of, maybe I shouldn't say it if I'm not sure. We'll pop it up on the screen. Anyway, they've been very responsive. I've called them on a few things and very helpful. So keep watching because we're going to try and figure out how to install this, and maybe you can learn something along the way. So here are the materials or tools you will need to take this glass out. So when we first learned that we needed to replace this glass, and by the way, let me back up and say that this is the fixed glass, the fixed top glass in a single hung door. In other words, the bottom part slides up and down, but the top window stays fixed. And it's our top window that's lost its sill, so we'll be replacing that today. So manufacturer recommends and gloves. We're working with glass, safety glasses, a wood chisel, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then what's recommended is a plastic, one of those small plastic hammers, which I don't have. I do have a rubber hammer. It might be too big. And if not, you can use a block of wood with a metal hammer if you're careful. So we're going to see what works on this. So let's get right to it. As I was saying a few minutes ago, when I first found out we needed to do this, I was worried about what trim we were going to have to pull off on the outside of the window and how long it was going to take us to repair. But it turns out it comes off from the inside and we don't have to remove anything. Hopefully. Looks like they've got some little screw mounts in the way down here. Oh, we can get around those. Okay, so here's what we do. We have right here around the window, we have these trim pieces, and these are called glazing beads. And these just come out, and they come out in a certain order. So this is where we use our chisel, or wood chisel, and we basically insert this in at the side. And I may not even need a hammer. And we just gently pry these out. Try not to, of course, scratch your vinyl or your window. Granted, this window's going in the garbage or somewhere else. So left side comes off first. It helps if you set them down in the same orientation they came out so that you don't have to try and guess. And you can see how simple this is. What's the saying? So simple a first grader can do it? I would have said a kindergartner, but I wasn't sure I could say that word. Kindergartner. Oh! So left and right, and then the bottom one goes next. And I can see why they recommend a chisel, because it's wide enough and has a tapered edge. It just gets in under the lip really easily. Now, this is where I guess I should be wearing gloves. Just, you never know what happens. Professionals actually use wear arm guards as well, but we're not professionals here. We recommend that anything you watch us do, don't mimic us. Proceed at your own risk. Okay, top one is the last one. We're going to gently pull that one out. Now this is where you might need a helper.
Does that mean you need me to come?
I need a helper, Miss Coco.
You're lucky, I'm right.
I need you to walk outside and just press on the top of this window just a little bit. So if you have a helper, you have them go outside. And you push from the top. It's not hard, just give it a push. Wow, it's in there. Go like this. Try the corners. This side.
I feel like I need to get up higher.
Good thing I had help.
Am I banging on the outside of the window or the inside?
So I wouldn't think we'd have anything adhered to the outside trim. All right, we're going to pause and get a ladder. Hang on. All right, so we have our professional glass breaker out here. And she's going to, ooh. It's vibrating. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go see if I need to pry some adhesive loose or something. Okay, now we're outside. And let's start in the middle, because I don't want to. Yeah, I just have my little same tool I used to break my baseboards loose. But speaking of the word break, I mean, this doesn't seem like it's got any kind of adhesive on it, although that side's pretty tight. And these plastic PVC trims are not robust, so I can't really pry. Oh, see, I broke through something there. We got to have some kind of, yeah, there's some kind of adhesive or something that's holding that. Yeah, we're breaking something loose now. If this was a window you were going to reuse that you're taking out, obviously take great care not to scratch anything and We haven't scratched anything, but just, oh, there we go, yeah. Okay, now we just got to push harder. They didn't teach me this in glass repairment school. I went to the school of hard knocks. Yeah, no amount of pounding we've done at the top of the window was going to break any of this loose. It's pretty, yeah, this bottom trim is not very strong. I don't know if we've got any adhesive on that, but oh yeah, we need to just be gentle so we don't break it, especially at the joints over here. I'll tell you what, this little knife has been the best purchase I've ever made. Actually, this is my second one. My second one in like 40 years. We're talking remodeling houses, tearing out molding, tearing out carpet, and now windows. Okay, I see the window moving. All right, we're getting somewhere. So where are we held up here? It's coming. All right, we got it. Miss Gina is holding our window for us. We're going to go back inside. Okay. And then if you can clear your brackets for your blind, then you're home free. And we still got some adhesive grabbing on that bottom trim piece. So that's what they did. Looks like they siliconed this. Well, that would have been nice to know. Now we got to run to hardware store. Get some silicone. Okay, old one comes out. Didn't leave ourselves much room for maneuvering here. Oh, that's the clearest view we've had since we moved in. Okay, now you'll notice, I don't know if you can see this black thing up here. These are called setting blocks, and they're on all sides of the window. We dropped one or two. Looks like there's one out there. Anyway, those setting blocks need to be put back in before the new window. I'll show you that when we get there. I'm going to show you this before I forget. So I found the setting blocks. There were some of them adhered to the old window. So we've got 3 on the bottom. And then there's one on the side, one on the top, and then one on the left. So 3 on the bottom and then 1 on each other side. So that's what we're doing. We now have silicone. We're going to run a quick bead along here. Let's grab our glass. Now, as near as I can tell, it looks like you put the labels facing out. So, we have our setting blocks in place, 3 on the bottom, and we're going to put the window in and rest it on the bottom first, and we're going to get it centered. Looks about right. Wow, I left us a rough edge there. Hope that fits. Okay. All our setting blocks are let's see, looks like I've got my setting blocks are too far out. So I'm going to push them in a little bit. I had them in front of my channel for my glazing bead. Which is interesting because these other ones didn't move, and some of those are in the way too. Actually, I'm going to use a thin putty knife here. I think I'm hitting my setting block. And we're going to slide past it. There we go. Oh, and we pulled it out. I was going to say that worked like a charm until it didn't. Okay, yes, that worked like a charm. All right, looks like I've got about an 1/8 inch on the right. And tad more than that on the left. Okay, you're pretty much centered. Get all our setting blocks out of the way of our glazing bead channels. Boy, that silicone's strong. Okay, now the glazing bead goes in an exact opposite of how you pulled it out. So we start with the top. Like I say, it's really hard to get a hammer on that because it's so narrow, so a 2x4 really helps. Okay, remember we're going in reverse order, so bottom one's next. And just like that, we're done. So that's it. Quickest how-to video in history.